North Bay's own Baytones is a chapter of female barbershoppers who belong to an international association called Harney Incorporated. This umbrella organization has aimed to empower women through education, friendship, and a cappella singing in the barbershop style. Barbershop is four-part singing with no accompaniment in either quartets or choruses. The local chapter performs for service clubs, seniors' residences, and public shows. Every fall, members can attend Education Day to learn skills from the masters. Participating in competitions enables the ladies to see and hear other choruses and quartets and to attend valuable workshops. Over the years, they've journeyed to competitions all over North America, inviting coaches for a day of learning, putting on fancy outfits for performances. The annual installation dinner and parties all serve to strengthen connections and growth as a chorus. North Bay is proud to celebrate the rich history of the Baytones.
For the photo presentations, yeah, if you can just come as close as you can to that. Oh. Thank you.
This is the memento keepsake.
Oh, awesome. That's okay. My name's Bonnie. I sing baritone at the Baytone, so 3 Bs, right? I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to have this wonderful award, and I know that all the Baytones, past, present, and future, this is quite an honor. I sing with a wonderful, wonderful group of ladies, and I've been a Baytone since about 1998, I guess. And unlike some of the musicians that are here today, our group is always ebbing and flowing with different people. I am currently the musical director for the Baytones, and with me is our assistant director, Kathy, and our president, Diane. And we just have a blast. And in closing, I just want to thank everybody again. And anyone here that is between the ages of 10 and 80 are more than welcome to come out and sing with us if you happen to like a cappella singing. Thanks.
Joanne Bernier, actor. A North Bay native, Joanne began her career in 1968, performing in the New York Summer Theater Festival at Columbia University. She's made a few brief appearances in film, mostly as an extra, and directed plays, 6 for the Gateway Theatre Guild and 1 for Algonquin Composite School. Joanne plays in the Joy Band and sings in choirs, but she is at heart an actor. Her most recent roles were Clary in Steel Magnolias in 2019, Martha in Arsenic and Old Lace. Other iconic roles include Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Nurse Ratchet in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Charlotte in Moon Over Buffalo, Elizabeth in Elizabeth Rex, and Weezer in Steel Magnolias. Truly, Joanne has enjoyed her time on stage immensely, and I have sure as heck enjoyed watching her.
Dave, how many am I allowed?
Well, you're allowed as many as you
Yeah,
want.
you're right. Thanks for coming up.
You have to come up. You have to come up. Who, me?
You have to come up and get your picture taken.
Oh, Ron.
This is a family affair.
You have to come up. Okay.
Here's your rock up.
Congratulations. Okay. Oh, so I can go
Floor is
ahead?
yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really nice that we finally had a chance to get together. So great to see you all. And first of all, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the Entertainers Hall of Fame Board of Directors, I guess that's what you're called, for giving me this great honor. And I'd also like to congratulate my fellow honorees who have all made a very significant contribution to the city. You notice I didn't memorize my lines today. Anyway, that now I'm getting it over with faster, so you'll be able to get out of here faster. Anyway, I am really thrilled to have had the opportunity to be a part of this wonderful community for so many years, just a few. From my start in secondary school to New York and back to North Bay, it's been a great journey participating with other theater-minded participants and people. We are very fortunate to live in North Bay. We don't have to worry about making Canada great again, right? Canada will always be great, we hope, anyway. Anyway, the best part of being involved with the theater and musical community is making lifelong friends. I see a couple of them here today, like Gord Hamden and Zena LaRush, and there are really, I'd be here all afternoon to mention all of the many friends that I've made over the years. But anyway, at the risk of getting the hook, Ted's already warned me about the hook. I will just close now, but not before I thank my two daughters. My daughter Tamara is here with me today. My beautiful granddaughter Meredith. She said I had to say that. And of course my partner Ron, for all their continuing support. Thank you very much. Oh, great, thank you.
Okay, the next up is Bryan Duffy. Bryan always knew that he wanted to become a rock star, but at age 18 he fell in love with the classical guitar, which led him to Cambrian College's classical music program. After his first year, he won the highest performance award in guitar, defeating the seniors. But he soon returned to rock, live, energetic, and loud. For 21 years, he has paid his dues. Then in 2007, Bryan was hired by the Garage Boys, who tour and play in many of the major venues in Las Vegas. Bryan Duffy continues to write and record and hopes to start playing original music again. He reports that, quote, "I needed these past few years to simply entertain, perform, and sing, which I love to do. I'm not famous yet, but I've had a great run so far, onwards and upwards." Bryan Duffy. So, who's going to come up here and get their picture took?
She's the face. Here. Thanks. Right here. Okay.
Would you like to say a few words? Sure. Okay.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mike. I'm Brian's good-looking brother. So my mom is here, Teresa Duffy, Mary Beth Duffy, David Duffy. We all dabble in music, but Brian made it his passion and his career. He just came with an album, Red Brick Road, so you can look it up online. And he's really thrilled to get this award. Thank you.
I can vouch for the fact that this guy is a great keyboard player. Barry Green. My dear friend, Barry Green. William Barry Green came to North Bay at the age of 4 and spent almost his entire life here until his death. At an early age, he studied piano with the Royal Conservatory and went on to become a much sought-after keyboard player. Barry accompanied, performed, and recorded for over 30 years with many well-known local bands and numerous other area musicians. An incredibly gifted player, Barry certainly had the talent to pursue a successful career further afield. But he loved North Bay and never wanted to leave. Barry's working life was also music-related. He worked at a variety of retail outlets, eventually becoming the face of Records on Wheels. There he shared his legendary knowledge of all musical genres and profoundly influenced the tastes and record collections of countless loyal customers. Barry Green. I had the pleasure of being a close friend with Barry for decades, and we were in a band together, and we even wrote music together at some point. I'm going to ask anyone from Barry's followers here to come up and join me for a photograph. I'll stand in on this one. Good. What I wanted to say just before they leave is that Barry's family is out west in Alberta and Saskatchewan and couldn't be here. I asked Malcolm Clark and Mandy Lush Sturgeon to come up and stand here with me because after Barry passed away, he passed away in November of 2016. It was the three of us who organized a celebration of life for Barry in February of 2017. And we made that event a fundraising event because we wanted to do something special for Barry's memory. And at that event, we raised a little over $10,000, which was used to purchase a piano and sound systems for the hospice. So Barry's piano sits at the hospice, and that's how we remember him. Next is Gord Hamden, clarinetist, saxophonist, and artist. Gord attended high school in Kirkland Lake, where he was very involved as a lead clarinetist, pit band musician, and band leader for several groups. After a year in North Bay, he returned to Kirkland Lake teaching for 31 years and playing with the Mickey Godfrey band, the Stardusters. During this time, one highlight was backup musician for Alan Thicke. In addition to teaching clarinet and saxophone, Gord played tenor sax for the Station Road Saints Dixieland Band, placing second in a CBC band competition. Back to North Bay, Gord worked for the Ministry of Education and later Nipissing University. He provided sax and clarinet lessons to many budding local musicians while he played with Ralph Burton, the 22 Wing Band, and the Joy Band. Gord believes that the secret to longevity and enjoyment is exposure to the arts, especially music, a stay young activity. Gord Hamden.
Sure. Want it for the picture here. And gals come for the picture, Lisa and Chris. Our son Chris, our daughter Lisa, granddaughter Kelsey, and of course my wife Elaine. If you're wondering about the white jacket, I bought it in Rio years ago. And there's never been an opportunity to wear it. So. Well, first of all, I want to thank Ted, President, and Jordan, Darren, and other members of the executive for the honor, the pleasure. Being recognized is always great, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, as we all know. Anyway, I've enjoyed my career as a musician. I continue to play and to draw and paint. I think to those who are aspiring, I think The only thing I would say is if you haven't developed a skill yet, take a workshop, expand in any direction, because it just adds so much to your life. I mean, even if you're only satisfying yourself, you're having a great time. Other than that, I'm very pleased to be here, to be honored today, and I congratulate all of the other recipients today. And I did voice to Ted some time ago disappointment that there couldn't be a sit-down for this group as well. But I do fully understand, and I thank you again and the committee, because this is a wonderful honor today. And so up there.
Jim Harney, the late great Jim Harney. Jim moved to North Bay with his family in 1983 and remained a fixture in the local entertainment scene until his untimely death. In his teens, he performed with 20-piece swing band and the North Bay Symphony, and went on to play with many local rock, blues, and country groups. Jim's 2 solo albums, My Way Home and We Breathe, showcase his abilities as a singer-songwriter and instrumentalist. He also produced and performed on recording projects for other artists. Jim was deeply involved in theater as a performer, pit band musician, and music director. He taught in Canadore College's theater program, composing incidental music for local productions and scoring a rewrite of the internationally acclaimed play The Donnellys. In 2014, he received a special award for his long-standing contribution to Northern Ontario music. Jim is perhaps best remembered as the first to volunteer his talent playing for seniors' homes, the hospital, and fundraisers. Jim Harney. Jim's sister Cindy, son Josh, daughter Lydia, and bestie friend for life, Waxy Belvin.
Second your guts.
Second your guts. Thank you.
And you want to say a few?
Yeah, I'll say a few words. Cindy contacted me and wanted me to say a few words for Jim Harney, just to introduce him to the folks that don't really know him. I'm not much of a live speaker here. I'm going to keep it real short. You'll see why I never fronted my own badge soon enough. Okay, well, first of all, thank you to the North Bay Hall of Recognition for inducting the late, great Jim Harney into its illustrious ranks. I've known Jimmy for well over 25 years and been roommates for a good chunk of that. In between gigging and recording, Jimmy would donate his time to various community and charity functions. He had many projects he would lend a hand in, from playing for the mental health staff and patients, day camps for kids, keeping busy at the Capitol Centre, both on stage and in the orchestra pit. He was so giving of his time, whether it was for a fundraiser for a local charity or raising funds for folks in need. I'm only scratching the surface on the community service he would participate in, as the list would be massive. It'd be remiss not to mention the Canadore program, the theatre program, working with Tracy Halsey and providing musical composition and direction. Jimmy's charming demeanor and relaxed good humor won him so many friends both on stage and off. He'd always take the time to chat with his friends and fans wherever he was out and about, sharing good humor and a hearty laugh. And let me tell you, you couldn't go to the mall with him because you'd be in there for 3 hours. He would stop and talk to everybody. To say Jimmy was a top-tier musician would be an understatement. He was the whole package. He had the singing, songwriting, musicianship, and he was an all-around amazing human. Even though his time with us was short, he was left by so many good feelings, and by being such a great guy and a true friend. He really was a true friend. Jimmy was family oriented as well. Today his son Josh and daughter Lydia and sister Cindy are here with us, and we all know how much Jimmy loved us. So here's to you, Jimmy. In your short life, you helped so many of us, and you will always be cherished and celebrated. You are my hero, and we love you all. Thank you for being awesome, and woo!
I was one of the lucky people that got to work on a project or two with Jim. And he was everything that Waxy said he was. Don Jacobs, some of you may know Don from his work in town for many years. He was a music teacher and a drummer. During his teen years, Don performed throughout Northern Ontario with the Vibrations. As a teacher, he prepared school bands and promoted outreach programs. During his 32 years with the Nipissing Board, Don amassed multiple honors. The Arts Experience course, which he developed for Canadore College, called Mr. J's Rock Band Experience, no doubt drew upon his own involvement with multiple bands throughout his lifetime. In retirement, Don moved to Rockland and immediately became involved in the community, founding the Rockland R&B Fest and the annual Rockland Christmas Evening of Sharing concert, aiding food banks. He also plays with several Ottawa groups. When asked to summarize his musical career, Don replied, "I'm grateful for my years of being involved with musical activities and the many students and musicians who enriched my life with a common love for performing and for sharing that love with our audiences." Don Jacobs. It's a well-known broadcaster and writer from North Bay, Cindy Males. Cindy has lived most of her life in North Bay. She graduated from Whitfield Secondary School and was a member of the first broadcast journalism class at Canadore College, graduating in 1986. She immediately began her career as a reporter with CTV and soon became a respected member of the media, preferring to report on grassroots people with interesting stories to tell. Cindy became an award-winning reporter when in 1994 she helped to produce the Dion Quintuplets, The Tragedy of a Miracle, and she received a Gold Can Pro Award for her feature Tomogamy, Land of Uncertainty. Political pieces were a favorite, municipal and provincial, resulting in Cindy covering the election victory of Nipissing MPP Mike Harris when he was elected Premier of Ontario. Cindy retired from her broadcasting career February 1st, 2017, and currently is the Public Relations Communications Specialist at Canadore College. Cindy Males. And last, but certainly not least, because it's only alphabetical, Mr. Tony Marceau. Tony, an incredible musician, incredible guitar player. So many people that I've talked to in town were inspired by his guitar playing and to some degree owe their success to what he has accomplished in his lifetime. Joseph Anthony Marceau, known as Tony, attended Schollard Hall Boys College where he taught himself to play several instruments. At 17, he became part of his first band called the Rhythmaires. In 1960, his group opened for Bill Haley, who praised their rendition of Rock Around the Clock, calling it stupendous. In the late 70s or early 80s, Tony formed the band Station A, which played many local venues and became the backup band at the original Heritage Festival and the Country Music Open contest. In fact, they played anywhere someone would have them. Tony was honored when nominated to be the president of the Nipissing branch of the American Federation of Musicians. He continued in that role until a major stroke in February 1991 ended his professional musical career. Despite his challenges, music will always be Tony's passion. Tony Marceau. We have a display panel outside that's been sitting empty, and it is our pleasure to unveil that display panel today and have these plaques, the 2020 inductees, be the very first ones to be displayed. So that was some small thing that we did.